Hello and welcome to the kissing columns that stand next to the Memorial Stadium. While the columns resemble simple art, they are actually survivors. At one point, these columns were in front of the entrance at Lincoln Burlington Depot, the station that opened in 1929 in the Haymarket District. In that point in time, that was Lincoln's portal to the world. College students left their homes there, and soldiers went to war there. This meant that thousands of families gathered there to share their goodbyes with their loved ones. The design of the depot was nothing extravagant or out of the ordinary. It was made from limestone with arches and marble flooring that could echo the steps of those who were traveling. The depot was destroyed in the 80s. However, the columns were moved to the stadium as a memorial to the generations of Nebraskans whose lives changed beneath these very columns. Then, locals started to call them the kissing columns. Regardless of the departure, there were two distinct sounds that came from the station. The very sharp whistle of the train as it began to leave, and the very soft goodbyes shared by those leaving. But not every goodbye ended the story. One specific story, in fact, is about a woman named Clara Jennings, a young Lincoln nurse in the 40s. She and her husband, who was a soldier at the time, was leaving for World War II, met under the columns to share one last goodbye before his train left. The husband said he would write to her every week, and Clara promised in return that she would wait for him once he got back home. The letters, however, eventually stopped coming, but Clara kept returning anyways. Every night, standing under the columns, she would wait for a train that never brought him back. Many years later, she passed away, never having remarried. When the depot eventually closed, the workers claimed that they would sometimes hear footsteps crossing the marble floor and a lady's voice calling out a name they couldn't quite understand. Locals today claim that sometimes when they visit the columns, there's a smell of perfume near the stone. They also say that they can sometimes hear a faint whistling of trains, even though no trains are nearby or around. Some say that she followed the columns back to campus as she's keeping her promise to wait for his return. Some have a more positive outlook on the situation and believe that they may have finally reunited in the only place that ever mattered to them, which is these columns that are now on campus. That is why some people believe these columns seem to be more than just towers of stone, almost feeling alive. And that's because of the amount of love that they have witnessed over the past decades of being in Lincoln.